Hey, hey, hey. Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed, and it's Wednesday, February 9th at 9 p.m. And I made it. I made it to Wednesday night. Um, yeah, I'll just say that. It's been a tough week. Tough 2 weeks. It's been tough. But I'm here. So let's kick it off with three cheers of joy. You know, we always talk about three cheers of joy, keep things in perspective. Three cheers of joy is brought to you by Queen's Ransom. LLC. I'm drinking forbidden fruit tonight. This is the mini, and there's a Tomasians. I've been saying Tomasians all wrong. They're lined up behind me. Oh, wrong way. They're lined up behind me. Forbidden fruit, the hard tea, and Charryse is rosé. So tonight I'm having the fruit, and that'll also be our special guest tonight. Charryse, who is the proprietor of Queen's Ransom, will be our guest tonight. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, so three cheers of, remember, 3 moments of self celebration. And I'm going to tell you, if I have never, ever, ever needed to remind myself of good things in my life, these past 2 weeks, I have had to on the daily, because I have fallen into a yucky space. And not yucky like I don't know there's goodness, but yucky like I feel blah. I feel in a low space. I feel bad, like emotionally, mentally, physically, my body ached. So it could have been anything. And now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I was sick. I didn't know I was sick, you know? So, I mean, my body ached everywhere. I was lethargic. My mind was not really racing. It wasn't doing anything. So I wonder if I was sick and didn't know that I was sick, but I am starting to feel better. Um, so as I was saying, if ever a time I've had to remind myself of good stuff, this was the time I had to do it. So I'm so grateful that I've spent these past few years just collecting good things in my life, like literally paying attention to the good stuff, like literally just highlighting that. So when I was running the reel through my mind, um, there was so many good things that I was able to grasp on and to hold on to while I was trying to make sure I didn't sink into some yucky depression. I haven't been in a depressive state in years, but I have before, you know, so I am always aware of that. But I wanted to make sure I held on to the goodness so that I could try to avoid the depressive state. So here I am. I'm already dressed for bed, as you can see. So that should let you know how I'm feeling. So I'm already ready for bed. Yeah, but I'm still going. So three cheers of joy, 3 moments of self celebration. And I'm having the forbidden fruit tonight. Steffi, get close to the camera. There we go. It's my Steffi Joy Exposed podcast. She always keeps me right, makes amazing personalized products. She does crocheting, she makes tumblers, you name it, she can do it. She's a creative, and stmspecialties.com. So, okay, so my first cheer of joy. This is week 6 of my workout. Remember, I started working with a trainer at the beginning of the year. So I'm at week 6 now, and I've had like my rest days, but I actually missed Saturday. Saturday I was like, I can't. So I just and I just rolled that out on Saturday. So I didn't. So that's my first cheer of joy is finish 6 weeks with the personal trainer. Well, 5.5 weeks because I still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday to go. So may not celebrate just yet. But so 5.5 weeks with my trainer. So cheers to that. My cheer of joy is that we to last night we went to a basket game. A good friend of mine, her son is on the basketball team, but he had the opportunity to play because of processing speeds, I think. So last night was senior night and he got to play basketball. He got to play last night. So we went up to see him play and we stayed for like the first half of the game. And then we left to get some dinner. But overall, he scored 7 points. He had a 3-pointer and 2 2-point shots. He did a great job. Everybody was crazy, wild, excited. And that's a cheer of joy for me because it brought back so many memories for me of like when I taught high school, like when I was at high school, right? The varsity cheer coach and dance team sponsor. I had all these activities going. And so when I walked into that gym last night and saw those kids and on the hardwood, I immediately was just overwhelmed with that time of my life when I taught high school. And I said, oh Lord, please don't want to go back. That please don't make me want to go back and teach high school. And it was short lived though, because I realized that the coaches and everybody had been there probably since 6:30, 7 morning, and they were still there last night at 8. And I know that I don't want those days. Like I don't want that again. But it was very good for me to be in that space, because that was such a growing space for me when I was after my divorce. It was me finding my own way. I had found a school to teach. My kids were in school and I was active at school. They were active at school, so it was really a good growth time for us. So when I sat in that gym last night, I felt very proud. I felt very aware of myself as just as a human, right? I felt aware of myself and I enjoyed the time that we were there. So that was really good. So cheers to high school feelings, teaching high school feelings, I guess, or basketball, however you want to look at it. It felt good to me. My third cheer of joy is that I got to go to the Civil Rights Museum in Atlanta on Ivan Allen Boulevard, I think it is. And I got to go there on Saturday morning. One of my girlfriends came to town to celebrate her birthday, and that was on her list of things to do. So we went to the museum, and that was good for me too. As I'm thinking about it, whenever I talk out loud about stuff, it all comes together, because of course it reminded me of how much work had been done by the generations before me to get me to this space. So that was good for me, because it was a reminder, like, girl, you're chosen, you're here, you're fine, like stop stressing. So that was good for me too. And so a cheer to that. A cheer to being reminded that you are chosen. A cheer to being reminded of people who came before you and fought and died and struggled and suffered just so I could be able to sit peacefully, even in this kind of melancholy space. Like, imagine that somebody went through all of that struggle for me to be able to sit and say, I don't feel well, and for it to be respected. I can't even a woman as myself, a Black American woman in the 40s or 50s or even 60s, just stopping everything that they're doing to nurture themselves and say, I can't. I'm sure that's unheard of. And I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm really very grateful in this moment to even have processed that although I am in a low space, I've been fine there. I've been okay, so that was good. Just thinking about it. Anyway, so the Civil Rights Museum was great. It's just, I mean, anytime that if you're seeking knowledge, you can never go wrong. If you're seeking any new information, you can never go wrong, right? Information is power. And when you go down there and see the exhibits and read everything and just look at Dr. King's handwriting where he was making notes and rewriting books, and just how amazing that was, or it still is. So it was really cool. So that was my third cheer of joy. And so I got to go to the museum, and I'm just now reminded, I'm not just now reminded, but talking through it reminded me that women have gone through a lot. Black Americans have gone through a lot. Immigrants in this country have gone through a lot to be able to say, I'm having a sucky ass mental health time. I need some time, because probably 10 years ago, nobody really gave a shit if your mental health was jacked up. You pushed through. And that's why we have so much trauma now. So my 3 cheers of joy tonight brought to you by Queen's Ransom Forbidden Fruit. The first one was middle of week 5.5 weeks into my workout with my trainer. My second cheer of joy was going to the basketball game, high school basketball game last night, and it reminded me of the goodness that I found when I was seeking myself. And then my third cheer of joy was the Civil Rights Museum on Saturday. And as I sat here talking about it with you, I realized that I really need to pay homage to the people who came before me, who opened up this place for me to exist in this yucky ass mental space. So I'm like, wow, and I have to really just appreciate and respect that, because I've said 100 times, I am an emotional processor. Like nothing comes to me that isn't laden in emotion. Now, the funny thing is, it comes in and it's turned upside down in emotion. By the time I respond to a situation or make a decision, I've processed through that emotion, right? So, and I don't know how I do that, but it keeps me from running around in circles, I think. So anyway, so those are my 3 cheers of joy, 3 moments of self-celebration. They have nothing to do with anyone else. And if you don't make a practice of talking to yourself every day about you and telling yourself that you're proud of you and that your ideas are valid and your dreams can be real and your thoughts and feelings and emotions, if you don't say these things to yourself, that affirmation, and know that you were chosen, then you really are probably not in your most productive space, because we need that. We need to know that we're good. And people may not ever tell us that. You could be around people at work, people, your family, you could be around people all the time, and no one will just come out and say to you, you're good. No one does that, right? So you have to do it for yourself. And I have to remind myself of it. Some days I'm up, some days I'm way up and I'm excited about just being, and other days I'm, and on those low days, like I have been for the past week and a half, on those low days, I have to remind myself, bitch, you're badass. You're good. Like, you got this. You felt like this before. You've been in this ruddy space before. You're okay. I have to remind myself, because the people around me, well, first of all, the people around me are few because I work from home. So they may not know, they may not acknowledge the space that it's not for them, right? They got their own thing. So I have to remind myself that I'm okay. I really have to. And that's where I've been these past couple of weeks, just trying to get through, yeah, just trying to get through. So anyway, those are my 3 cheers of joy. And it's Wednesday, February 9th. So good to see you guys, to be here, because it is, I've been literally laying around all day trying to figure out if I was going to work tonight. And I said, yeah, I am. I was like, yeah, I got to work tonight, because I made plans, right? I made plans, and it's the one thing that I have to do. This is my space to talk through joy, to expose my joy, as I just did in my 3 cheers, right? I wouldn't have talked through it this way had I not gotten on and be regretful about it. All right, so let me see. Oh, now up social media post of the week. I have a couple that I've selected. Our guest should be here in a few minutes. Let me read my social media post of the week. They're hilarious. I've been snapping them, taking them off for like 2 weeks because I didn't come on last week. No, that was for my last guest. Hold on. And the social media post of the week program is sponsored by STM Specialties, who made my tumblers. So she makes all kinds of tumblers. I probably have 10 different ones. I read that one. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. Social media post of the week. This is the first one. I've seen this before, but I just saw it recently, like in a couple of days. It said, oh, hold on a minute. Somebody put a message in the chat. Let me go get it. Ta da 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 da. There we go. Hey there, McGator, Mr. Gator. Hi there. Okay. So this was one of the social media posts of the week. It says MFers, right? Booking rooms for Valentine's Day to do the same 3 positions they do at home for 3 minutes. Where's the lie? Where is the lie? Right? And so I think that's funny because people will go all out and get rooms and rose petals and there's the same people that they're just with the same person they're with all the time. So I thought that. And then let's see. This one is from Myra Lachelle. It says, he talking about a guy. He high, dusty, and got a little gold chain. Says, sis, you a fan. Y'all know those my favorites. People be snapping on this thing. So he's high, dusty, and got a little gold chain. Ceiling fan. Okay, so let me see what else I got. Oh, that's not it. That's a promo for something I want to do. So let's see. And this one I saw, it says, my toxic trait is playing calm when I absolutely plan on taking it too far. Didn't I just talk about that? I just talked about being an emotional process. When it comes in, it's laden in emotion. I wrap it up in emotion. But I have to process through that emotion so I can get to a space of making a decision. I'm making a choice, making a decision, delivering a response. I have to remove as much emotion as I can, but I'm aware of it. So maybe that used to be my toxic trait, but I ain't really anymore. Here's one. Oh, I sent this to my girlfriend Carla because we were both talking about how we barely leave the house. My favorite outdoor activity is getting my packages at the door and bringing them in. That's about it. Instacart, Amazon, UPS, FedEx. This is about all I do is collect stuff from the door. I haven't been going out much. Let's see. Uh-oh. Charryse said her link isn't working. So let me see if I can get her. Copy. Let's see if I get it. This one. Try this. Oh, and I did have to change it today because I had it for 9 a.m. I forgot about that. Damn. All right. Coming in. All right, let's see what else I got. Okay, and so then there's a picture of a king size M&M. Not M&M, a king size Snickers bar. And you know, if you like Snickers bar, you know it's got those thick veins in the top that kind of look like veins in the penis. So someone made a post that says, if they're desexualizing the green M&M because they changed the shoes on the green M&M, it's only a matter of time before they remove the dick vein from the Snickers. Now listen, I'm just saying, I do appreciate the dick. I thought I was the only one that thought that whatever that chocolate drizzle vein looking thing was. I don't know that I thought other people thought of it that way. So to see this post, it was like, oh, I'm not the only one. So the person who shared the post said, no, eating a king size Snicker bar in an inappropriate manner is how I get the men folk to buy. So that is hilarious. And those are my social media posts of the week. I have Charryse who has joined us. Charryse with 2 R's. I need to correct that. I got to correct that. So she's joining us, and I'm going to bring her in right now. And this is, that was a social media post brought to you by stmspecialties.com. And bringing to the air, we have a Charryse of Queen's Ransom, LLC. Here she comes. Hey there.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
Sorry about that link. So what I noticed earlier is that I had it scheduled for 9 a.m. So I changed it to 9 p.m., but I didn't send you the new link. So my apologies for that. I'll put that right out there on the front. Yeah, my bad.
I was just nervous, like I hope I don't, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it was fine. I was just chatting away. So hey there, welcome.
Thank you. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm already dressed for bed. That's what I was just talking about. Like, just put on my robe and get ready for bed already.
I understand. I gotta get the kids
Yes.
together.
Oh well, we'll get through this then. So
Oh,
everyone, this is Charryse with Queen's Ransom LLC. She is official sponsor of 3 Cheers of Joy. Of is this side? Yeah, Forbidden Fruit, Tomasion's Hard Tea, and Sarday's Rosé. Correct? Did I say it right?
yeah.
Yes. We talked Saturday night, and I was saying Tomasion. Y'all remember?
Yeah.
I was saying Tomasion, and she was like, "Hold on, it's Tomasion." And I was like, "Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad." So
Because my son, you know how that goes. Everybody gets
yes,
his name wrong. So he'd be like,
yes.
Mom, Mom. So I'm like, okay, I'm
My bad,
trying.
my bad, my bad. So welcome and thank you for joining us. So why don't you start off? Give us a little background about you and how you decided to come up with your premium alcohol products and your popcorn.
Oh yeah. Well, it kind of just by happenstance is, we kind of talked about it the other night. I've been an entrepreneur for some years. I was in the corporate world, but I have endometriosis, so it was kind of hard to keep jobs. I would keep a job a year or two, or and
Mhm.
it was just all wasn't working out. So I to keep money coming, excuse me, I started braiding. Well, I've been braiding for over 25 years,
Uh-huh.
and now that I'm a little older, my fingers aren't
The carpal
aren't
tunnel.
as magical as they used to be.
Yes.
And so I just you got to keep pivoting. You got to keep things going. You can't stop. So I I networked with a couple of people during my travels over the years, because I've always loved to travel, and like I said, being an entrepreneur. So I networked with a partner of mine. She's my partner in the liquor, the alcohol industry.
Mhm.
Um, and so we kind of collaborated with the pandemic. When the pandemic happened, the travel kind of went down for a little while, and so I went to a couple of events with her, and got with a couple of different people. She actually does red wine, and of course I
Mhm.
didn't want to do the same thing that she was doing. So I just thought about the drinks I used to drink when I would go to the club, or
Yes.
just sipping. And I went to a few events and noticed that Black women were only like 1% of the alcohol and wine industry.
Wow.
So it was just something that I wanted to get into, and now that I'm into it, I it's kind of taken off.
Yeah.
I'm still learning myself,
Yeah.
but I love it.
I love that you mentioned pivoting because that is the pandemic term, right? When things aren't going the way it's supposed to, we pivot. But I love
Yeah.
that you mentioned that because I worked in corporate forever and I only became a business owner about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I didn't understand the dynamic of the entrepreneur. So
Right.
your expectation is to keep trying new things until
New
you hit your
things.
thing. I didn't have that thought process until right now, like until this point in my life, because when you work for corporate, you're
It's
just doing your
structured.
job.
Yeah, it's
So
structured.
it may not be many changes, a little.
Hmm.
It wasn't necessarily a pivot because you, as an employee, you continue to do what you're doing. So
Right.
entrepreneurial mind is new to me. So I just expect what I start, that's going to be the thing, but that's not the case.
Well, it was well, even when I got into braiding hair, it you know how they say it's like a passion, but it really doing hair really wasn't my passion. It just
Mhm.
I'm good at it, and it kept money flowing. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But it wasn't something that I really wanted to just do
Right.
as long as I did it.
Yeah.
But like I said, now I'm a little bit older, and I've stopped kind of braiding. I actually have a braiding magazine with all my daughter's hairdos called
Mm-hmm.
50 Braids of Charryse. And so I just
Wow.
kind of keep I've done so many hairdos on her, and
Yeah.
I just decided to make a magazine about it. And
Wow.
so I'm selling that on Amazon. That just thing, like you said, just things by happenstance. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of get into certain things, and oh, okay, well, and then because a lot of people would kind of ask me, well, how did you do that, or how, and I'm not I'm not really a teacher. I mean, I can show you,
Right.
but I can't sit there and,
Right.
I don't have the patience. Like,
Right. And I was going to ask you that too when you saying your hands weren't as um like they were before, that your hands weren't necessarily loving it. And two things came to mind is that I remember doing my daughter's hair, and my fingers would cramp up. Like I would
yeah,
feel pain, and I mean, I wasn't doing anything extra other than doing their hair, braiding it,
uh-huh.
whatever, not even other people. So that one thing. And then also, I feel like the older we get, the less creative we get. Did you feel that
Less
with the braiding?
creative. Well, less creative, not having the time to really do it, sit there and
Hmm.
do it anymore. I had to cut my son because everybody in my household had hair.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's like, come on, I had to cut my son's hair off. My daughter, she'll be 11, so she's getting it into that age where she wants to do it herself now, and
hmm,
she has way more patience with braiding. She braids her dolls and all that. She has way more patience than I did as far as that. So maybe that'll be something that she gets
yes.
into. Um, but yeah, it was just I like to I like to do things that it's not so much working hard.
Mhm.
We worked hard back then, and
Yes.
we trying to work hard, work smarter, not harder. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Absolutely.
so,
I
so
do remember. I do. And I remember working 12 hours. I remember working two jobs, going to one and then going to the other, and
mhm.
or a job during the week and a job on the weekends. I swear I've worked two jobs since, shoot, maybe 2006 until
Okay.
2016,
Oh
17.
wow.
Like, I did, and that was my recovery time after my divorce. And so I've
Hmm.
worked hard, and now it's like, if I'm working hard, I want to work hard on my stuff. Like I want
On
to
my
put
time. Yeah.
the time
Yeah.
into me.
Right.
Um, and did you notice when you were working corporate and working as an entrepreneur, did you notice the shift in your time? Like, before it was, you focus on your corporate job, and then all of a sudden that was less important, and it was almost shifting the amount of time you spent working on your own thing. Is that how you kind of left corporate? That you were kind of over
Well,
it?
I mean, like I said, I have endometriosis, so
Right.
with that, every month
Hmm.
is
Oh
just
yeah.
it's up in the air. I might be sick, and so I just wanted to do something on my time.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
corporate, you have to be there at a certain time. And then if I'm sick, I don't want to go, or
And
I've been at work sick and had to go home, or
yeah.
and so even when I got out of corporate, I mean, I got tired of going to get jobs and being there for so long, and then just get laid off or let go for
Yes.
whatever reason. And even like I said, even when I became did more of my entrepreneur, I mean, there's been times I've traveled, I've been out of town sick. The endometriosis, it kind of left a lot of things in my life up in the air.
Mm,
But I didn't they back then they didn't really know what it was, the
right.
doctors. So I've been through it's something psychological, and I, it's just been so crazy over the years. Now there's more people that have it, so it's more
Hmm.
common now. A lot of people know more of the ins and outs. um and a lot of people back then told me to get a hysterectomy and this and
Hmm.
that, but the doctor, I had one doctor, and she told me, she was like, well, do you want to have kids? Because they didn't say I was barren, I
Hmm.
just, it's just harder to have kids. And
Okay.
most women want to have kids unless you're just one that doesn't want,
Right.
have kids. And so the doctor had told me, she was like, well, even if you don't want to have kids, don't get the hysterectomy, because our bodies fight off,
Yeah.
certain things that if I was to get a hysterectomy, I could either go into early menopause, or
Yep.
I could, you need your ovaries, and you need your,
Yes, you need the
your
hormones.
organs.
Yeah.
So I ended up having my kids, and it eased up a little bit, but I still was sick. But a couple years ago, I ended up getting a partial hysterectomy,
Hmm.
which I still have my, my ovaries, but everything else is gone. And I feel better. I
Good.
just they told me back in the day that don't everybody it was like everybody wanted to be my doctor, and
Right.
God has the final say so,
Yeah.
and if I would have had a hysterectomy, I wouldn't have my kids, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And that's what
Mhm.
everything is kind of geared towards now. I'm a little bit older, but still kind of young. I'm in my 40s,
Mhm.
so I've always been family oriented, or trying to do something that's, create the generational wealth that we all talk about now.
Right.
That's why when I did start the wine and spirits, I dedicated it to, the Charryse Rose is my
Mhm.
daughter, and Tomasion's, the hard tea, is after my son. The
Yeah.
forbidden fruit kind of came off of a divorce.
Yeah.
My ex was dipping in that forbidden fruit, but
Yes.
whatever. So just, and I, like I said, I'm enjoying what going through this. It either pushes you or breaks you. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So it just, I'm here, and I'm trying to keep pushing forward. That's what the Queen's Ransom is all about.
I
Just
love
I'm
the
paying
name.
dues.
I
Thank
love the
you.
name Queen's Ransom, and I was so like that you when you had it in your website, I was like, she's had this for a long time.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's enough. That's because I was like, there's no way that would be available. Like, there's no way because it's dope. Like it is.
Yeah, I've had it for a while. I just, trying different things, didn't know, but I've literally paid dues to make all these moves I'm doing, I'm
Yeah,
making. So
I'm sure. I'm sure, and that's remarkable because it's so important now. I think we talk about being women and being Black women and in business, this is like a new place for Black women. And even the consideration as far as care is concerned is a new place for Black women. Because
mhm.
when we were younger, if we had some kind of issue, it was resolve the issue, get rid of them. Like, there
Yeah,
wasn't a respect for the humanity of Black women. And now there is. And
there's
fortunately,
more.
you had someone to guide you in that
Yeah.
space. Yeah. Because they want to, yeah, we weren't necessarily treated well physically
I
or
mean,
mentally. So,
and then I mean, just the whole, like I said, I've heard it all. Like they was telling my mom, like, is she okay? Everything okay at home? And so then my mom is looking at me like,
what you telling them
okay,
people?
yeah, why are you faking, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's been a ride, but I mean, you got to push through. You gotta keep going.
Absolutely. So, share with us, if you will, what's your favorite part about your wines and spirit? What's your favorite experience so far in this process?
I think maybe the feedback that I'm getting from,
Mhm.
a lot of people. It's
Okay.
three different flavors, so we all have different,
Mhm.
different vibe, different flavors that
Right.
so one, you might not like one, but somebody might like another, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I just know, I just feel good about all the positive feedback I've been getting, um, and that's what kind of keeps me going with it, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Mhm.
just hopefully, one of my goals was to be, get on some of these shows, and just, have my bottle as, the prop, a prop position or
Yeah.
something, on a show, and
Yeah.
something like
And
that.
all of it will come it'll come along that it's just learning. I think the social media aspect of it for
Mm-hmm.
the adult women, because you're younger than me, so trying to figure it out. The kids got it all down pat.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
I'm
kids can
still,
do all
yeah.
of it. But for us,
I
it's
can't.
like,
I mean, and then it's because there's a couple of people I know that they're just like, go get in their DMs and just go get in the DMs, and
and you're
it's
like,
like
what?
that's to me is like we used to call it groupie, being a
Yeah.
groupie or being thirsty or whatever. I mean, but this I don't know.
I
Maybe
know
one day
that
when I
that
get
and just make a video, go live and talk for 3 minutes. And I'm like, talk about what? Like, I don't know. So I think we're learning in that, in
yeah, I'm
that
still
aspect.
learning all the
Yeah.
TikTok stuff and all the different edits. That's one of my goals this year too, is to get more familiar and to
Yeah.
get post a lot more with that. But it'll come.
Yeah. I'm sure that it will come. And that's one for me too, is how to make the short videos and the editing piece. And then I run into the
Mhm.
the thing of like, I don't have a time. Like, when am I supposed to do it? Even that part of
Yeah.
it. So I guess we figure it out as we go.
And
so
it's
you so you're in the pandemic, you started with another wine. Are you considered a sommelier, or do you have an official title in the wine world, or you just own your brands on your own label? Is that how
I
that
just
works?
own the brand,
Okay.
and all that's coming. Like I said, later. Hopefully, I can get more familiar with all that.
Okay.
It's just coming. Um, and I'm working on It's not just the wine. Like you mentioned earlier, I have the popcorn. The
Hmm.
alcohol infused popcorn, and I'm working on a healthy drink. Just
Mm,
that's not it's not alcohol or anything. It's something
okay.
healthy, like that, with my endometriosis, something
Okay.
I can kind of drink and every day, or not just necessarily water, but something, I'm working
With
on
some
something.
flavor and some electrolyte,
Hmm.
something else that people can drink.
Hmm.
Yeah, I totally get it. Because I know that, like, I love to drink water, but sometimes I'm over just water. So I like
Right,
sparkling water, different flavors of it,
right.
that kind of thing. But I
Hmm.
totally understand what you're saying, and my teas too. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you thinking? So you and your wine partner, the person that you were working with, came up, she was already in wines. You were looking for something and you said, "Hey, let me tag on to this. Let me see what you're doing." And then you went up and got your own three flavors,
Hmm.
chose the names, what the flavors were, all of that. You were able to
Yeah.
do all of that.
Yep,
Wow.
that was all me. Yeah.
That's exciting. So who do you physically make the drinks, or does somebody make them by
No,
in
I have a
bulk?
crafter. Yeah, I have a crafter,
Oh,
and they
crafter.
prepare everything, and then I sample it and let them know if I want, you know, if I like it or if I don't, if I want to add something, excuse me, something else or whatever, and then I just keep testing it until I approve it, and then we put it out there. I have to, like, with the drink I'm doing now. Trying to figure out the name and
Mhm.
the color of my label and all that, everything
Wow.
that comes with it. So yeah.
That is really that's so exciting. Like, and I say I'm telling you this and I mean it, is like, I love wine. Like, I love wine. I probably could drink wine every day, but I never in my mind thought like, "Ooh, I'm gonna have my own wine." So
I
that's
never
truly a
I,
gift of
I never
yours.
thought about it either. It
That's
just
truly a gift to you, because it's completely over my head.
it
Just keep
just and like I said, I've never I'm not really a wine drinker. I know, I don't I like sweet, so a lot of, so you see all my liquor is sweet. So
yeah.
um it was just, I don't know. It just, everything. I never imagined me doing this.
And
I,
this
I
these are good flavors. I mean, they are sweet and they're um familiar enough that if you're having an event and somebody wants a drink, they would be like, "Oh, I can have some of this," or "I'll try this."
right,
And it's not
right,
as much as saying, "Well, is that red? I don't like red wine," or "I don't like." So you
right.
took like family favorites, club favorites, and put your spin on them and said,
Yeah,
"Here you go." And
yeah.
on some ice, they work. I mean, I've had them all. I've tried every one of them, and I like all of them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah, I enjoy them a lot. So I think that's really neat. Very, very bold and very bold decision because it's the time for the fun drinks, right? They're
Yeah,
out there, so why not?
we gotta make our stamp on things. And
Yeah,
I just tried to put, like I said, put my twist on it and what I thought, like I said, when used to go to the club all the time and what I would like to drink and,
yeah.
you know, something I can drink all night or,
Something you can sip on. Yeah,
just
something
to
you can
sip
sip
on.
on. Give you a
Mix,
nice
you can
one,
mix
nice
some.
size.
And because like with the tea, I don't want to be too loud because my kids, they are in competition with who likes what the most and all that. But with the tea, with the tea, the holidays just passed, so I mix the tea with the eggnog,
Mhm,
and then in
mhm.
the summertime I mix it with the simply lemonade, and it's just it's versatile. Hmm.
Oh, that's a neat idea because I tried it with the eggnog. So I did try it over the holidays with the eggnog, and that
Yeah,
was really good. Because I usually have me some eggnog instead of doing a bourbon, I did, the Tomasians.
yeah.
So, yeah, and
I
that
can
was
drink
really good.
eggnog just period. I love eggnog, but
Yeah.
I put the tea in it. But yeah, and then
Ah.
in the summertime or just whenever, the simply lemonade, or the lemonade, the half and half,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
kinda like what is this?
Arnold
A
Palmer.
yes!
Hmm.
Oh my god, that is smart.
Yeah.
Is
So
Oh my god, that is so smart. Yeah. And that's I mean, these are really good and they're flavorful and I mean, they're good sipping drinks. So
I
smart
appreciate
move.
that.
Yeah, smart, very smart move. I have enjoyed all of them. So yeah, good. I can't wait to
I
see what the
appreciate.
next one is.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, it's not. It won't be a liquor though. It'll just be,
I know, but just to
it's
see
more
what
of a
it is.
healthy drink. It's more of a
Yeah.
healthy drink.
Yeah,
So
but I'm saying just to see what it is because these are
yeah,
really creative. So I know you're
yeah.
gonna come up with something good. How would you go about getting your liquors in liquor stores like Total Wine or ABC or the local stores? How do you get into those stores?
Well, that's what I've been working on. A couple of liquor stores. I did a couple of tastings in their liquor store, just to kind of see how they'd work out. And I really just need distribution help with that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And get my boxes and or excuse me, my cases and everything. But I'm working on it. I'm definitely doing the footwork, doing events and
Mhm.
um but yeah, that's just the distribution. I'm doing more tastings at liquor stores, and actually uh out here, I just did the event in November at the Chateau Elan.
Mhm.
Um and that was like my first real big event,
Right.
and I had a lot of great feedback. I think I almost sold. I think I might have had like 5 bottles left of everything, but
Oh
yeah,
my
and it was one day. It was like from 1 to 5 in the afternoon.
wow.
So it was just a few hours, but I did pretty. I know I have some good products. It's
Yeah,
just,
you do. Yeah.
getting it out there. I know I have to get in somebody's DM and get them to.
Oh my
But I
god,
have a
isn't
couple of
that the
people,
craziest?
I have a couple people that have shouted me out, and on my
Mhm.
Instagram and stuff. So um we'll see.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job. Products, great products. I enjoy them. I have shared them if I've had guests over, or I've shared some with them just to so they could have a taste too.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really exciting. It's really exciting. So
Yeah, I
well, is there
love
anything you'd like to? Oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was just saying I love the word of mouth. That's, that's kind of how I've worked all back since I was braiding hair.
Yeah,
I just, put your product out there and let it do the talking, let what you
that's it.
do the talking. So,
Because that's what we trust, that when it comes from somebody else, we trust it.
hmm
We have a I do a golf tournament at the end of March, and I'm trying to get my mind in a space to start planning for it. But I have a golf tournament at the end of March, and I'm going to get with you to get me 2 or 3 bottles of each to have, so that people can taste them or buy a bottle or whatever.
Oh,
But I
definitely.
want to have it there.
Okay.
Yeah, because we'll do
Yeah.
a evening event on Friday with cocktails, and then the golf tournament is on Saturday. And they usually drink bourbons. The guys drink bourbons and smoke
Right.
cigars, but then they have like their spouses may be there, or girlfriends, or their sister, any maybe other people there that aren't necessarily into the bourbons, that would be open to trying. And I'm thinking even the Charryse rosé would probably with like a breakfast, with like a brunch.
hmm
So that would,
Well,
or the forbidden fruit, either one of
yeah, the
those.
forbidden fruit. I was going to say the forbidden fruit because it gives you like the a mimosa vibe. They're all
Mhm,
15% alcohol. Let's let everybody know.
mhm.
Um, and the one thing that kind of makes me laugh or whatever, a lot of men, they're like, oh, wine, or oh, it's not, that strong or whatever. But when they taste it, they're like, oh,
They like,
a
hold
lot of
on a
them like
minute.
yeah,
Like,
it's like I said in the beginning, if you don't like one flavor, it's a flavor on there that you're gonna like. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it's just I really like the feedback that I get from a lot of males because they really don't think
because
it's
they think it's wimpy.
yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
first time I had the Tomasions, let me tell you what I did. It was the big bottle. And I had my big insulated cup, the tall one, probably 16 or 20 ounce. And I put ice in it, baby, and filled it up. Had my top on it. I was sipping it. We left the house. I was in the car. I was in the passenger seat sipping it. By the time we got to where we were going and I went to get out of the car, I was like, wait a minute. It's almost
Yeah.
like, slow down on this, because I mean, I was literally like, oh, whatever, because
Yeah.
I drink. So I'm like, whatever, I got it. I'm gonna test it out. We got from here to where were we going? I stepped out of the car and was like,
Because you can just sip it and not know
yep,
you or you need to drink the whole bottle.
exactly. Exactly. And when I have the little bottles, and I'll have one, for the show. And then when I finish it, I'll be wanting another one. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no,
You gotta
just go
slow
to bed.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just go to bed because it's so good. You want to keep drinking
you
it.
keep drinking. Hmm
It's so good. You want to keep drinking it, but then it's like, no,
You
let's
you
like, chill
doing too
out.
much. Uh-huh.
Yes. So, well, anyway, how can our viewers get your products? Why don't you tell them when they can find you and how to order?
You can go to my website, queensransomllc.com. I'm on Instagram at queens_ransom LLC. And yeah, and hopefully sooner than later you will see me in a few liquor stores or on TV
Yes.
on some more,
Yes. And if you want to make an order, and you can use coupon code Queen Joy,
Queen
and I
Joy.
think yep, Queen Joy. Is it Queen Joy, all one word or 2 words?
I believe it's one word,
Okay.
all one word.
Okay.
And
Then
it's
I
I
think you
think
save
it's
like 10%, is it?
uh-huh,
Yeah. Like
10%
10,
off your whole
10%
purchase.
off if you use Queen Joy when you order.
Yes,
So thank you
ma'am.
so much, Charryse. And I had your name misspelled all over the place. I have to correct it before I upload. I had it
It's
with
okay.
1 R instead of 2. I'm gonna get it together. Whew.
It's okay. I'm not as bad as my son.
And the horrible thing is I am as bad as your son because I'm always like, it's Joycelyn. people, people like
Well, I
Jocelyn.
don't, as
I'm like,
long as I
it's
don't trip
Joycelyn.
too much, as long because I know my whole spelling is way different. So because most people think it's spelled with an S, or so I go ahead and try to let everybody know up front what it is, and
Oh my gosh. I have to, I'm going to fix it. I got to fix it on before I put it on YouTube too, because I need it to be correct because,
oh, just
people are
needed it.
looking for you.
I'm sorry.
I said, people be looking for you. So your name got to be spelled right. There you go.
I appreciate it.
So anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
sponsoring Three Cheers of Joy. I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but Three Cheers of Joy is the first segment of the show where I recall three self-celebration to remind me that I'm great. So Tears of Joy, 3 moments of self-celebration to do with anybody else but you. And I encourage my viewers and my listening audience to do the same, because in this time of chaos, we do need to be reminded that we're good and there's a reason we're here, and just acknowledge the good things that happen for us. So thank
And
you for being a
that's
sponsor.
the truth, and I appreciate that because, excuse me, sometimes we are our worst critics and hardest on ourselves,
Yeah.
and we do need to remind ourselves that you doing all right compared. Everybody is going through something, and some people are worse off. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So you just gotta not be so hard on yourself, and you just know it is a better day tomorrow. Long
Exactly.
as we're living, it'll be a better day.
Yep. And just to choose something good that has happened to you. Like it could be you were driving to work and all the lights were green. It could be,
Right.
it could be anything. Like
Mhm.
just find something to give yourself a boost of goodness, because it's so easy to get sunk, like to
And
just
that's kind of what kept me going with this, because like I said, I was going through a divorce, and could have been so easy for me to, get in a depression with
Mhm.
my kids, and but with this, I'm trying to keep some sense of normalcy for, myself as well as them, because they're going through it too. But
Yep.
it's just,
And the
so
kids do. They go through it. And when mom stops, they stop too. Because they
yeah,
don't, now they've lost their light. They've lost their guidance. So we have to keep. You're exactly right on that. You're exactly
yes,
right.
ma'am.
So thank you so much for joining us. I'll have to have you back soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. You have a great night.
You too. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye bye. And that was Charryse, Queen's Ransom LLC. She has her premium alcohol products. She has alcohol infused popcorn. And as she said, she's got amazing that are just kind of club favorites: Sade Rosé, Tomasion's Hard Tea, which is like a Long Island, and then the Forbidden Fruit. She said was inspired from her divorce, and it's really good too. That's what I had tonight. It's just really great products. So that was Charryse. So yay for that. All right. So we have just a few minutes left. I decided I wanted to keep some time at the end just to kind of wrap up what I talked about earlier, and also to look forward and what's next for me and what's next for you, and how do I plan for Joy Exposed, what kind of what things are supposed to happen. And I hate having company and not having an opportunity just to talk to you guys like I usually do. And I've done that the past couple of guests, is go all the way to the end, and I don't have time to wrap up. So I wanted to make sure I saved some time for that tonight. So anyway, so we talked, I've told you guys I was in my little yucky place, and that's okay. I'm gonna be fine there. I'm already fine after talking to y'all and having that real come to Jesus moment. I'm all right. But I have to make sure that I keep going and keep working, because I'm finding that I'm spending less time on my stuff and more time on other people's stuff. I was finally making the shift from teaching to my company, and now teaching it's my company and then other stuff for other people, which I do need to make money. So I'm not knocking that because that does bring in income until my business gets kicked off. But I've got to spend some time on the promoting Joy Exposed more because it's everywhere, but it doesn't matter that it's everywhere if the viewership is low, right? So it's all anywhere you can find it. You can Google it. It's everywhere. And we don't have to do it live, but I feel comfortable talking live to my Facebook audience because I consider this my family. So it's live here on Facebook, on YouTube. If you're viewing on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's get the cha-ching. Let's get the numbers up there. Any platform that you want to listen to a podcast while you're in your car, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Pandora. I mean, it's anywhere. It's everywhere. So I've done the groundwork on that piece. I need to do the advertising piece. Now that's where I need to work on the advertising of it, just to get it out there more and to make sure that the content is good. I mean, I've been doing this for more than 2 years now, and it's good for me. But I don't know. I haven't sought any feedback from my listeners. I mean, unless there have been reviews left or comments, that type of thing. But I've got to figure out the marketing piece of it. And I've struggled with that for a while because I know it needs to happen, but it's not happening yet. And then not to mention, I am a writer. So I'm a writer and I have my books. I need marketing for that too. I think I just need a marketing person. I'm going to have to hire somebody, a marketing person, to just market for my business and my business of my clients. That would be a job that paid for itself. So I'm going to have to put that together to get me a marketing person or get me an intern or two. So I guess lots of possibilities, but I just need to talk through them and make moves on them, right? So that's all good there. Nothing really exciting other than has happened, with me. There hasn't really been any good news stories. Just some, random shootings, that kind of stuff. But I'm over that stuff. I had to stop reading because it was making me so sad. So I haven't been reading, that the news in that light because it's just making me sad. I have haven't really been watching. I've been watching some TV, but I mean, I'm not recommending anything. It's just mindless, blah 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 for me. We are in the process of getting ready for the golf tournament at the end of March, and then I have the 5K run in April. So I'm going to be soliciting starting next month donations for the golf tournament, and also in April for the 5K, which is in Tampa, but you'll be able to do it virtually and still get a t-shirt and all of that. So, I'll be coming to you guys asking for money, and it is tax deductible. So that's a good thing if you need some write-offs for your taxes, because you have until, I think, end of March to get to make your contributions for this year to go in your taxes. So if you need a tax friendly place, we got you here at our foundation. So I think that's about it for me. So anyway, I'm Joycelyn Wells, and this is Joy Exposed, my podcast. And when joy is got something in my throat. When joy is exposed, everything just feels better. That's my mantra for life, for living. Take all the bandages off, get your healing, let your joy show through, and you feel so much better when you're not hiding convoluted bullshit from people. When you're just free to walk in your own light, when you are free and you're not covering for anybody or hiding or ducking or dodging or making excuses for somebody's hurting you or hiding your trauma, you feel so much better. You feel so much lighter. And that's literally how I live my life. I try to live as free as possible. So anyway, thank you for joining me. It's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. And when joy is exposed, everything just feels better. Mwah. I'll see you guys next week. And have a great Valentine's Day and enjoy the Super Bowl. All that good stuff is happening before I see you next time. And make sure you post lots of pictures on your social media and tag me in them. Joycelyn Wells, hashtag Joycelyn Wells, hashtag Joy Exposed. Let me see all your good stuff in there. All right. Good night. We'll see you next time.